Welcome to this episode of Orthodontics in Interview. It's my absolute pleasure to give you guys Diego Peydro. So Diego Peydro is a guy I've been following for a long time on social media, and I'm so excited to have him here to share with you guys his story when it comes to aligners and orthodontics. So let me give you guys a bit of background about Diego. So Diego qualified as a dentist from the University of Valencia. He then went on to train as an orthodontist in the Southern University of Mississippi in Spain. He's spoken worldwide. He last spoke at the AAO 2 years ago in 2021, looking at modernizing orthodontics with Spark aligners, protocols for successful solving of malocclusions. Over 2,000 aligner cases Diego has underneath his belt, using both Invisalign and Spark aligners. Now, he's an educator internationally, and he's a co-director of an international training program, the Clear Ortho International Program, or Master COIP as it's known, which has got an incredible brand when it comes to education. He is on the Ormco Advisory Board and a consultant for developing Spark aligners. Also co-director of Peydro Dental Clinic, which is in Valencia, which is where Peydro is. Now, let me tell you about Diego and my following of him. So Diego posts on social media. He's had over 2,000 posts. Now, he puts down the biomechanics of his aligners, pre and post. He talks through the process. And what I've loved about following Diego, he's got two themes that run through it. He'll talk to you about the complexity of the biomechanics and acknowledging how complicated it is, staging of his aligner treatment, and the second most important thing for me is that he advises taking it slow, taking the long way around, enjoying the journey, because actually mechanics aren't easy to deliver. And it very much opposes the commercial side that we tend to hear, doing it quickly, not having to think about it. Diego's all about thinking and taking his time. And it's wonderful to have you here, Diego, to explain to us how you got that level of knowledge. Thank you, Diego, for joining us.
Farouk, thank you very much, and thank you very much for this nice introduction. It's my huge pleasure to be here with you, to spend some time with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving up your evening. And you've got a whirlwind travel schedule for this week, so thank you so much for fitting me in. So, Diego, I'm going to get down to the crux of it. So, how did you get into aligners to begin with?
Well, it starts close to 20 years ago when I give my lectures all over the world. I always say to everybody that right now you are not learning something for the future or something. You are learning things of the past because we are working with aligners for more than 20 years. Right now I'm in 46, and I started working with aligner when I was finishing my specialty for orthodontics. And the day I decided to do that is because I was, I have a way of life, something that I have been doing all my life. It is like trying to visualize the future. And it's something that gave me a lot of value in my life. Okay, many things that I have right now in my life start with a dream, with something in a vision. No? And this is the way I start with aligners. Imagine 20 years ago, nobody was using aligners, and also everybody was saying that Invisalign, oh, what's that? No, aligners, the end of the orthodontics. Okay, it happens the same with Damon braces. When it started, the Damon, everybody thought that the end of the orthodontics, and I saw that the future was that way, right? Something that can be more comfortable for the people, because at the end, as you know, all the people has a really complex life, and at the end, when we do a treatment with braces, we are complicating the people's life. So I thought, well, the way to do that is something that has to be more simple, more comfortable for them. We have to make people's life more easier, and that's why I started using aligners. It was hard at the beginning because imagine 20 years ago, the software were really really basic. The material of the aligner was really basic. But despite of that, despite of the difficulties, I continue using aligners.
And Diego, where aligners are now, do you see them as now being superior with the advancements in both software and technology to compare to fixed appliances? Do you see in fixed appliances still having advantages over aligners? Where do we stand at this point in time with those two different components of the specialty?
Well, Farouk, let me tell you and to the audience, all the things that I'm going to say is that my personal point of view with my skills and my experience, okay? So with my experience and with the thing that I'm living, of course, aligners are really superior than fixed appliance, okay? Right now, we can achieve things that in the past was impossible to dream with fixed appliance. I'm solving almost no all my cases with no extractions. I'm avoiding skipping doing surgery in most of the cases. I only do surgery in cases where they want to change their face. If not, it's possible to get and to do a bone remodelation. Okay, I don't talk about growing bone. Okay, I think that we create new bone, but okay, let's think that at least we modify bone, and it's like we can calculate minimum movement, degrees, exactly the degrees. The alignment right now is so accurate. So for me, it doesn't. If I want to be consistent with my way of life, with my thought, with what I want in my life, that is giving the best for the people that surround me, it doesn't make sense for me to use fixed appliance because it's not the best tool to get the best results. That's why I think that if you are well trained in aligners, you can achieve superior things that with braces.
Okay, really good, really interesting to hear. And just following on that kind of theme, you have been involved in development of Spark. Can I ask what made you work with Ormco and with the Spark Alliance? What led you down that part of the journey?
Well, it was something so beautiful, about that. It was so beautiful. Well, of course, if you ask me about Invisalign, okay, I'm not using Invisalign anymore, okay, for the last 4 years, okay. But if you ask me about Invisalign, I can tell you that it's a really nice brand, a really nice company, and the liners are really good. Okay, so nothing bad to say about Invisalign, of course. Okay, it's really serious, a really serious company. But it starts with also with a dream, Farouk. Look, like 7 years ago, uh, I was a speaker of Invisalign for many years, but I had a really good relationship with the team of Ormco in Spain. And one day I called them and I say to the team, look, to the country manager here in Spain, we do a meeting, okay, also with the European director, and I told them, look, I don't know if Ormco is thinking about doing aligners, but if they are thinking about doing aligners, I can help you to develop the product because I'm doing that. My products are working. I'm showing the products all over the world. And they told me, look, it was about 7 years ago. They told me, we don't know. In this company, only we know about the product with this almost in the market. Okay. It was about 7 years ago. And 4 years ago, they called me. And in that dinner, they told me, but if one day we develop something, we are going to call you because we respect you. I had a really nice connection with them. And like 4 years ago, they called me. And they told me, Diego, do you remember that dinner that we did in Valencia? Now the aligners are reality. We are developing Spark, and it will be our pleasure if you can help us to develop the product, the project, the protocols. And it was I taste for a few cases before, and wow, that's amazing. That it was amazing, and I decided to change. You know why? Because something that I felt in my heart, in my soul. Okay, something it's like I felt a call from the God, the universe, something good and something great is going to happen right now if you are inside this project. And of course, I have to be loyal. Okay, so that's why the day I decide to change to Spark, you have to be loyal in everything, in any aspect of your life, because at the end, the universe gives you back, okay, what you give. So that's why you have to be conscious. This is the way I manage that. So the day I decide to collaborate with Spark is the day that I cut totally with Invisalign. And right now I'm 4 years working only with the Spark, and I can tell you, for me, it's superior. For me, it has a few things about the material, about the software, something that is not like a huge difference, a big difference, but there are many things that for me are superior to InDesign. That's why I'm still in the project and seeing how it is growing and growing and growing. It's so beautiful.
It's really interesting to hear, and especially your opinion on Invisalign, having moved away from it and still with that respect for the company. Because on your YouTube channel, I've seen so much about your mechanics with Invisalign and how the protocols have applied. But it's great to see you moving that step forwards now and taking Spark to develop the science further. Diego, just taking a step away from orthodontics, if we may dare. Tell me a bit about yourself, Diego. What do you like to do in your spare time?
Well, I'm, you know, normal things, normal. I am a normal person. I love sports.
Okay.
I sport almost every day. To share with my friends, with my family, with my girlfriend, go for a walk. I love to walk a lot. And to go for dinner. I love to, I'm really foodie. I love to find and taste new restaurants. And well, something that is my passion is to travel around the world. I travel around the world for my business because I'm giving my course all around the world, and I'm, almost about 5 months a year traveling around the world for business. But also when I have time, I love to travel backpack, take my bag. Even right now, go to Thailand for 6 weeks, go to Mexico and discover the world. I love that. And the rest, I love to cook. I'm quite good cooking, and I love to cook a lot. And reading, I have also like a passion for reading. And well, this is Diego. He's a normal person that would love to enjoy normal things. And also something that I love, Farouk, is to share with people. To share with people that I'm connected,
Yeah.
with people that I'm connected. I love to share all the things that I have. My house is always open.
Wow.
And well, this is something normal person.
Just for the audience that are listening, Diego's mentioning a very normal life, and he turns into a superhero when he puts on his clinic and he goes in and starts solving his aligner cases. But also, Diego is also in incredible shape as well. Diego must spend majority of his time in the gym, as far as I can see. So, Diego, just going back to the aligners. So, there have been some conversations that I've had with Kevin O'Brien over the past on his blog, looking at the research of aligners. There's a bit of a kind of gap between research and clinical practice, as we see from people like yourself. So, generally there's a theme within research about the predictability of aligners being low. And the recommendations for its use as an outcome of that research is to use it for mild cases. What's your interpretation from a clinical user like yourself?
Well, Farouk, is my opinion is I have it really, really clear. The aligners, the predictability is almost 100%. Or almost 100%. When? When you apply the correct protocol. If you are measuring a result, but you are not applying a protocol that works, you are not going to get the result. And if you are measuring that with the protocol that is not working, the result is not consistent. But Farouk, let me tell you something. The protocols of the companies doesn't work.
Wow.
If you go to my course, Master COIP, I'm showing a protocol that is not the protocol of the company. I'm showing my protocol of expansion, the way I manage the roots, the way I do the constriction of the semen, the way I do my protocol of distalization. So with my protocols, they are 100% not 100, okay, not 100%, 95% predictable. Okay, and you can see my results; they are consistent. I saw you said that I have close to 2,000 posts, and I love to post almost every day. I take my phone, I take a picture because I love to share. Something that say in the, why I'm sharing so much. It's not because something, I do it for free, but then why? Because I think that I have something that I have to share with the world. Seneca in the past said, if someone gave me all the knowledge and I couldn't share it, I didn't want it. And I feel the same. I have something and I want to share it. And if you see my results, they are consistent. So these people that are publishing that is because they are not applying a protocol that is working. That's why the results, are not good. You know something that sorry, Farouk, something that that's why the artificial intelligence is not working yet with the aligners, because they have tried to measure the protocols of all the doctors, but what happened? That most of the doctors are applying a protocol that is not working. So you cannot get an algorithm that works.
Yeah.
Okay, the unique way to get that algorithm that works is only to take in the people that are getting very good results. Only with these people, they are trying to do it to measure all the cases. So you imagine Invisalign have treated millions of cases. They are trying to get a protocol measuring all of them. But what happened? But most of them, the protocol that they have applied have been not good. That's why this, by the moment, is not working with aligners.
I think that's a really interesting point to take forward. So we should take gold standard cases and clinicians and use that to
Exactly.
introduce AI. That should be the way forward. So anyway, that's a business for me. I'm not going to tell you to say anymore. So, you use a lot of TADs, Diego, with your aligner cases. Now, that in some degrees is seen as contradictory, kind of aligners all being straightforward clinically, but then actually TADs being very clinically engaged when it comes to it. But you've seemed to have merged the two together, almost like a duck to water. It just seems to have happened. What are the challenges you find? What challenges have you found integrating TADs with aligners?
Well, like in the rest of the things that I do in my life, is like I do things, but I constantly I'm changing. No, I'm changing. So if I discover myself doing today the same things that I have been doing last year, something I'm not doing good. Okay, what I mean with that? In the past, a few years ago, I was using tats almost patient tats everywhere. And I have seen that we don't need them for almost, we need them in 5% of the cases, because the liner is so predictable, Farouk, so predictable. In the past, for example, I was using tats to help me with the distalization, and I have seen that the distalization is amazing just with a liner. You don't need anything to distalize. The aligner is the best appliance to distalize, the best one in the lower, in the upper, but in the lower even better. So in the past, I was trying to make it more predictable, and it didn't work. And also, I was distalizing the molars and then putting a micro screw just for anchorage. And I see that I don't need that. If you apply and you know how to use the elastics, if you know how is the rule of action reaction to compensate the loss of anchorage. So I have reduced the number of screws. I'm still using them. Last week I did because in my office I do sometimes there an in-office course about that. And right now I'm using them when I have to plan a pure intrusion of the molars. Okay, a pure, because the unique way to get something predictable, because you have seen my cases, I plan an intrusion of 4 or 5 millimeter of pure intrusion. Okay, and I get that. I get that. And the unique way to get that is using that for, to just for anchorage to make more predictable the intrusion. And right now, mostly I'm using that for that. To plan the molar intrusion, incision intrusion when I want the bone remodelation and soft tissue remodelation to solve some gummy smile. But for the rest, it's like I did like that more, and now I'm reducing the number of tats with the mentality that in almost everything in our life, less is more. Less is more.
Yeah. Do you know what's really interesting is that I had a fortune to speak to Professor Porrig Fleming not too long ago, and he was describing the same idea when it comes to using temporary TADs, is that actually we don't really need them. He said the same words, we don't need them beyond 5% or so of our cases, 5%. I think that's really interesting to hear that correlation between expert users, and actually it's not needed, even though it's great. As often as we tend to see. Just kind of following through, so we've spoken about Spark, we've spoken about Invisalign as brands, but there's a drive towards in-house aligners at this stage, about orthodontists bringing it in-house, doing their own software for design and carrying out printing processes. What's your thoughts about that as a way forwards in orthodontics, or is it something which is going to benefit us further?
Well, I only can give you my point of view about that because I have never tried in my office doing my own aligners. But why? The reason is why I didn't try it. Well, as you know, Invisalign, Ormco, for Spark, they have hundreds of people working on product development, software development. There is hundreds of engineers looking for the best material. It's impossible to compete with them. Impossible to compete with them. How can we get a better software than a company like that they are investing millions on product development, millions in the plastic, because at the end the plastic is so important. So in office we cannot run as fast as they are running. Of course, it's not possible. So where we are really good in the contact with the patient, in the things that are in our hands. Okay, that's why I put all my emphasis in being good with my protocols, using what they are developing. Okay, because at the end, you know what happened, Farouk? That many people, they are trying, because what is the sense of doing your own aligners? Why? Most of the people are doing that because they think that they are going to save money, and they are not going to save money, because money is not the matter about what you spend with the material. It's the time that you invest. The time, is more, time is more expensive than material. And imagine the amount of time that you have to spend with your team, yourself designing. So it's incredible the amount of time that you have to spend that. So it's at the end, if you think about that, it's cheaper, much more cheaper. They do their work. They are going to be developing and do your own protocols, train your staff, train your team to get the better result. And this is why I only use these brands.
Wow. So play. I mean, I really like that. So playing to our strengths. They are manufacturers. Use them for the manufacturing because that's what they're designed for. We are orthodontists and biomechanists. So let's focus on the biomechanics and protocols. It's really interesting. So who is it that you admire the most in orthodontics?
So my reference in life, in this field, was Damon. In that point, when I was, in the specialty, I discovered not Damon braces, no, the figure, okay, with the person of Damon, a person that he was developing something against everybody, okay, and he was trying, to share his message, and the community was trying to kill his message, and I saw a person that he was fighting for his dream. And this is because it was, the energy, the vibration was something that I have inside. That's why when I see and discover that person, I say, wow, I want to do something similar. Oh, he's an hero, because despite of everything, he is, okay, working and sharing despite of the community, and how he made a huge difference in the world. This is one of my models, okay. And also because of the nice relationship that I have with Dr. Chris Chang, Chris Chang of I have a really nice friendship with him, for two reasons. I invited him many years ago, like 6 or 10 years ago, to Spain. I was a part of a group that we call Orthodontics. I'm not anymore inside this group, but I invited him to give a lecture, and yes, about a lecture about a course for us for tats, with Damon and tats, and he was joking all the lecture with me, showing crazy cases, and then saying, Diego, can you do that with aligners? Joking. Okay. He had never tried before the aligners. After the lecture, I say, Chris, let's go to take a coffee. I want to show you something. And having a coffee, I open my computer and I start showing him all the things that I was doing in that point. He was, oh man, what's that? And a few months later, he invited me to Taiwan. I was the first person in the world that talked about aligners in Taiwan. And I introduced Invisalign there in Taiwan. Okay. I don't know, maybe some doctors had tried, but it was not extended. And after my lectures there, and now, always when Chris talk about, well, now Chris, he told me that the other day, I was with him in Mexico like a month ago. We shared a lecture he told on Friday and I told on Saturday, and his wife told me, Diego, well, you changed our life. He
Wow.
told, you changed our life. Right now, we are doing 90% aligners.
Wow.
Because of you open, not because of me. I told them, not because of me. I open your eyes and you take action. Okay, because I open the eyes to many people, and at the end, if you don't take action, nothing's going to happen. Okay, so that's why, well, he invited me to I have been in his house twice, so that's why I have a really nice connection. He's an incredible person, and also he changed the rules also for Fonte. You see the cases that he's doing is, oh man, what's that? That's why. Beautiful.
Amazing. Amazing. What an interesting relationship that Chris Chang fed fed off your energy and has taken the lines as far forward as you have. That's amazing to hear, and your humility in that journey that you've been involved with. David, just bringing things towards the end now for the interview. What one piece of advice would you give to the orthodontists out there?
Well, I'm. If I can talk to, let me say, instead of the orthodontist, let me say to the young Diego. Okay, starting with the ortho. Okay, the first one. Um, don't believe anything, okay, that you see. You have to try it for yourself, okay? And also you have to be brave, okay? You don't have to listen to the rest. You know why? Because many times the people, they don't want to see how you succeed because they are not succeeding. And I have seen that sometimes the people want to stop you. Okay, they want to stop you. So you have to follow your dreams, to open your mind. Okay, the world is changing like crazy. It's like life. You know why we are here in this world, Farouk? We are here in this world to be happy, to enjoy, to love, to give, right, and to live a vibrant life. Okay, and if you stay in the fixed rules, nothing amazing is going to happen because the people is going to think of you. So open your mind, okay? Be open to the things that the world is going, and the message that the universe is going to send you in everything, in the love, in the life, in the work. Because when you open your heart and you listen, you can build an amazing life. Because at the end, what we are doing, Farouk, we are orthodontists, but we are people, what we are trying to enjoy the thing that we are doing, right? And at the end, in the office, we spend many, many hours, many, many hours. So we have to enjoy. If not, what happened? Look here, I'm practicing for 20 years, and I'm more excited right now than 20 years ago. I have fire inside. How is possible? Because I'm always trying to do something different, to meet new people, see what is where is the direction of the new thing that are happening. So this is my point of view, that I think that if you follow this line, you can enjoy it all your life doing this beautiful work. Because what we are doing here, Farouk, is we are at the service of God to help the people. Okay, because what we are doing is not just moving teeth. We are changing people's life. We are improving people's life. And the unique way to improve people's life is to be our best version always. We have to be our best version. How can we do that? Thinking outside the box, thinking outside, open mind. And well, this is, if you ask me for an advice, it will be my advice.
That is amazing, amazing. Diego, thank you so much for joining me on this interview for Orthodontics in Interview. And guys, please do subscribe and look forward to the next episode. Thank you, Diego.
Thank you very much, Farouk. Thank you very much.
Just a few outtakes, guys, from today's episode. I hope you do enjoy it. So, Diego, I've just been having this thought process. I have to share it with you. So, I've got a new idea for a brand new eyeliner company, and Diego, I want you to invest in my company.
Well, what did you experience with aligner? How many aligner have you done before that?
I mean, I haven't done any aligners.
So I think it's not a good idea for me to invest something that you don't have experience. I will only invest in an idea where the man who's going to do this idea has a lot of experience, a lot of passion about that, but you don't have I think it's not good. I will not invest in your company. Sorry.
This is the end of the interview. I will not like to thank you for the time you've taken out. What was this, Diego? What was that, Diego? It's not helpful at all. We're going to record this again, and you're going to say the script this time, okay? That's going to be
Okay.
the end.
Okay.